What kind of impact has Legends had just on you as a person?
Legends has been very impactful in a few different ways. First, seeing the members. You mentioned Bridget, seeing her going from Founders Club member to a member coach. You just see this progression of people's lives that you don't normally see as a coworker, as a friend even. As a head coach, you really get that opportunity to really inspire.
Hello, guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Legends Boxing Podcast. I'm really happy to have another guest in studio today. This is actually a dear friend of mine. We've known each other for a few years now. His name is Chris Udall. You were the former head coach of Orem and Sandy, right?
That is correct.
That's correct. How long ago was it that you certified with Orem?
So I did head coaches training with you in April of 2020.
Yeah, right before, like just right after. It was kind of during, right?
It was, they had just let the 2-week lockdown be released. And then, I walked in and did my one trial class with Kylan and said, I have a degree in exercise science, kinesiology. I need a job. It's COVID. And I got in with Orem.
That's right. Now that we're talking about this, I'm kind of remembering that they had another head coach that was lined up, and we won't mention who, but kind of didn't work out. Yep. And then like the heavens opened up and Chris walks in the door of Lehi. And wasn't it like David was there?
No, David and Colton came into the class a little while after with me, but I met Kylan that day, and I remember I was wearing some crappy gloves that you find at the DI for a couple bucks. Don't box in those. But I was boxing in those, and Kylan rips those off and goes, "Here's real gloves." And I fell in love with it after that first class. And I looked at the membership, and I was just like, I don't know if I want to pay for this. I want to do this. I want to do this full time. I need a job. It's COVID. Let's do it. And so I ended up who reached out to me first? The account manager of Lehi at the time reached out to me, and I said, actually, I'm looking for a head coach position or a coaching position. I'd love to be trained. I'd love to actually do this. And then a day later, I have a phone call with David and Jake Mon, owners at the time of Legends Boxing Orem. And after the end of the phone call, I get offered a position. And I started a week later with you, and a week after that, I opened the gym.
Yeah, I remember we were doing online training videos while you were in Arizona.
Yep.
And it was like,
I'm
sitting at my computer waiting for you to submit the next one so that I can approve it and look it over and talk about it.
Yep. Just
so we could get all of the training done before you come back so we could start the in-house training. That was kind of, but like, I seem to remember, you're an athletic guy. It wasn't like this wasn't unfamiliar territory to you. You did it very, very quickly. Yeah. You picked it up very quickly. Hockey, right, is your background. You played hockey for BYU, didn't you?
I did. Yeah. So I've played hockey for now 21 years.
Wow.
So.
And he's not even that old, guys. He's almost 30.
So, it's just the athleticism was an easy pickup. But as I found, being a head coach, coming from my own background of hockey, as well as seeing other people, at Legends Boxing Orem, I had a BYU football player that played for 4 years, one of great defensive players. And we all come into this sport thinking, oh, we're athletic, we can do this. And it's a wrong. It's a learning curve. Boxing is different. The footwork's different. Everything about it's different. So it was a good challenge for me, because I showed you that athleticism on the computer, and you were like, great, I can do something with that. I come in for the in-person training, and that's where I got my butt kicked, and it was great. So,
well, don't feel alone, because I kicked just about everybody's butt when it comes to the head coach's training. It's an important responsibility, as taking on the amount of members that the head coach takes on, and them relying on their information and what they're giving them, what kind of experience is happening. It's a large responsibility. So I took a lot of pride in coaching those coaches.
Yeah.
But I do remember it was just a fun experience. But I remember you started like very shortly after, like the gym was supposed to be opening up like 2 weeks later or something like that.
The day.
The day
we
of?
finished because we had to go through a weekend. I started on a Wednesday. We went through sort of the weekend. Saturday was a big day. I had Monday, Tuesday with you. Wednesday to finish everything down in Orem of helping getting set up. Thursday was our first. Wednesday night, I had a family class that I had all the owners and their families and wives and spouses and whatever come. And we did a workout. And the now head coach, Eric Acosta, was also there. So it was like 10 of you guys. And I did one workout on a Wednesday night with you guys. That was my trial run as a head coach after 1 week straight with you. And then literally the next day was my first Founders Club class.
I don't remember any of this. I don't think I was there for that workout.
Maybe not Wednesday. You weren't there for the
I was there.
You were there for the trials.
The family. I remember the Founders Club
Founders
classes.
Club, yeah.
Those I was there for to help out. And those were a lot of fun. Like I actually really enjoyed doing those a lot. That was a lot of fun to do those Founders Club classes. Like Bridget to this day, she was one of those people in that Founders Club class. Shout out to Bridget if you're listening. She's former head coach at Bountiful.
Yep.
She just had a baby. Congratulations. So like she was in that Founders Club class. I remember that, along with quite a few people who are still in Orem.
There are.
But like those classes were just a lot of fun because of the energy and the excitement, and everybody walking into their Founder Club classes nervous and they're really excited at the same time. And so, yeah, those were a lot of fun. So thanks for reminding me of those.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a good experience.
What I remember is my very next head coach's training, which wasn't very long after yours. And you'd been open for a little while, but it was a couple months. And then you got COVID. Yes, that I do totally remember. He gets COVID.
Yep.
And luckily, I was training Mo and I was training another guy. And luckily we were scheduled to go to Orem anyways.
Really?
And yeah, to like do observations of the class. Like that was a part of the schedule because Orem had just been opened. And so like part of my head coach's training took you to other locations, and it used to be like Riverton, or we'd go to Sandy. And since Orem was open and it was so close, we're like, yeah, we're going to meet at Orem. And so we were going to go to Orem that morning. And like literally we had just gotten a text or something from David that you had gotten COVID. We need somebody to cover. And we're like, well, luckily we're here. So Mo and I literally like coached the entire week.
Yep.
Yeah. It was like
that. I remember.
And that was back when like you had to be quarantined for like 15 days, I think it was. And then like even after that, you couldn't come back unless you were symptom free and like you had a test that showed you were cleared for COVID. Like, wow, it was kind of crazy. Like, but that was a fun week of like conveniently being able to cover for you at that point. Yeah. Was it rough? Let's talk a little bit about COVID. I mean, It's been long enough. How was that for you? Was it a horrible sickness?
No, I mean, it was, for me, I didn't have it as bad. The funnier thing is how it got spread to my parents. So I ended up giving it to my parents. So after I texted you, and this all happens right around my birthday. so I'm in the gym. I'm assuming I got it. That's all I did. Every day I was there. So I had to have gotten it from the gym, or at least around the gym, walking in and out of the gym, whatever. I end up seeing my parents later on a Friday night, and Saturday was the first day. And I think my birthday was on a Sunday. And from then on, for me, it wasn't that bad. For my mom, it was a little worse, but for me, I just lost the sense of smell and the sense of, taste and whatever. And then, I was super tired all the time. There's no way I would have been able to coach, but, I do remember you guys stepping in and helping out. And I remember Eric stepped up a ton. Mm-hmm. He was just a member coach at the time. It was just me and him, head coach and member coach, and that was it. and he stepped up and was super, super helpful. But yeah, it was just, that was a crazy time now thinking about it. Yeah, it was 2 weeks totally out, finally got everything, and came back at the end of July.
Did you have COVID more than once?
That was the one time.
Just the one time?
From what I remember.
Oh. Yeah, I had it twice.
Hey.
And both times I call it a 4-day inconvenience in my life.
Yep.
Like I still worked, I was still doing everything. Like I just had to be inside. But it was just more of like an inconvenience. I feel very bad for those that it wasn't an inconvenience and it was a horrible sickness. But fortunately for me, it was, the second time was actually
Easier,
less bad than the first time. But yeah, it's just been kind of a crazy past few years, man. It's been, so let's kind of talk about COVID's over. It's it's still a part of our lives. It's now a part of everything, but now it's the heightening of it's over. So let's talk about Legends and kind of where your role in Legends is now to this day. Cause you're not head coaching anymore,
Nope.
but you are still coaching.
Yep.
Where are you coaching?
Here, I coach in Lehi.
Okay.
I coach just member coach, so it's just my 2 classes on Thursday afternoon. But it was a total of 2 years between the 2 gyms, or all combined. I did about a year and 4-ish months at Orem, and then I went up in 8-ish months at Sandy, and then I decided to go into nursing school. So that's what I'm in right now. And I finished that in December and get my RN license as well as my Bachelor's of Science of Nursing degree. So I went through an accelerated program. And while going through that, I reached out to Kyle and I was like, hey, I'm living in Vineyard, Orem area. I'd like to still coach if I can. And so then he brought me on as member coach.
That's awesome. So tell me, what kind of impact is Legends just in this short time that you've been a part of it? Because 3 years is not very long.
Sure.
But a lot can happen in 3 years. What kind of impact has Legends had just on you as a person?
Legends has been very impactful in a few different ways. First, seeing the members. You mentioned Bridget, seeing her going from Founders Club member to a member coach right as I was leaving Orem to a head coach of Bountiful, and then now to being I think full-time mom, and at least definitely for now with the brand new child.
Yeah.
You just see this progression of people's lives that you don't normally see as a coworker, as a friend, even as a head coach. You really get that opportunity to really inspire, but also be inspired by the members that walk through the doors. We see people from all walks of life walking in that need maybe just a confidence boost. There were multiple teenagers that were being bullied up in Sandy, and I had multiple of those kids walk in, and all they wanted to do was gain confidence. Great, let's hit a bag. I had some people, obviously, I want to lose weight. Great, let's hit a bag. It all came down to the same thing. Legends was so impactful to their lives, and because I was able to sort of be that funnel of, hey, I'm just here to coach, and I'm just here to be, something to help lift you hopefully in your day. Bad day, come hit a bag. Hopefully your day is now a little bit better. You can give me knuckles as you walk out the door, and we're a little bit happier today. Whatever I can do as that funnel, I was glad to be it. So that truly has been what has inspired me, is seeing the change in people's lives, which ultimately obviously affects my own.
That's great. Didn't you just recently get married?
I did.
Yes.
I
Let's
did
talk
get
about that. When did that happen?
May 5th.
May 5th. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That was very, very short time ago. Just
It was
2 months ago.
Yeah, we were a little over.
Where did you guys meet?
At Legends.
Wow. I'm kind of queuing this up. If you guys can hear, I kind of know this. I'm letting him kind of talk about it. So take away. Tell me about it.
Yeah. Kenzie is my wife.
Introduce her, because there's hundreds of thousands of people that are not from Utah that are listening to this right now that have no reference to anything you're talking about. So going back a little bit, if you guys are wondering what DI is, it stands for Deseret Industries. And for those outside of Utah, it would be similar to like the Salvation Army.
Yep. Salvation Army.
Kenzie.
Yeah. So going back, I was head coaching in Orem. Absolutely loved it. I was actually living with another Lehi member, a family. You had them on, Chris Stein.
Mm-hmm.
So Chris and Sonia, I was actually living with them, coaching at Orem, doing my normal single thing, going on dates. And Kenzie was a member there. And I had a very strict rule, in all honesty, in Orem, because it was a lot of college students. I was like, I don't want this to become some type of meat market. This isn't what this is for. It's a boxing gym. So I want everyone to feel safe. I want everyone to feel like they can come do their workout, like they're not just going to be hit on, right? Just come enjoy your workout. So I said, no asking people out in the gym. If you want to do that, you go outside into the parking lot, you can do whatever you want. But inside the gym, it's safe. I followed my own rule. So I didn't ever ask Kenzie out until I left Orem and became the head coach at Sandy. So I had discussions with the owners up there and Cassie, and ended up heading up to Sandy. And immediately after that, probably about a week, maybe a week and a half, I reached back out to a now member coach. So I had made her a member coach just because I needed member coaches. And she actually boxed at Lehi many, many years ago with you and everyone else. So she was here for a year back when she was in high schoolish area time. So she had some experience. So that's why I got her on as member coach, not just because I thought she was cute or anything else. Like I really thought, okay, she's got some experience. That'll be good. And she's a soccer player. She was a soccer player at UVU. So she had the athleticism. I was like, great, member coach. I had a nice, great team of member coaches down there. Absolutely loved every single one of them. They were such a benefit to me. Obviously, Kenzie was attractive. And so by the time that I left, I said, you know what? I'm going to ask her out. So I did. And at first... Did
you go to the parking lot or did you...
Luckily, I was gone. I was already a head coach at Sandy. So I never had to go back in and ask her inside the gym. Okay. But we did, we went out on a date to an OUR concert, Rise Up, who I know Legends is now sort of combined with a little bit with OUR raps and things like that. But we ended up going there. And after that, we just kept going on dates every once in a while. We had a little time that we didn't talk for about a month. And then all of a sudden in November of 2021...
Don't forget these things.
I'm not going to forget these things. I'm pretty sure it was Thanksgiving weekend of 2021 that we sort of made things official. And then from there, it just was a year plus of dating. And now we're married.
When did you propose?
December 18th, 2022. Yep, 2022.
So I'm testing him, Kenzie. And you May, what did you say it was?
May 5th.
May 5th.
So it was about 6 months of engagement.
So isn't that Cinco de Mayo?
That is Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah. Okay.
It was fun.
Hey, wow. They rock it on.
Easy.
Where'd you guys get married?
Walker Farms. It was here in Pleasant Grove.
Here in Utah, Pleasant Grove, Utah.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations, man.
Thank you.
That's pretty freaking awesome. So I think I'm going to, this is a totally fabricated number here, but I'm going to go off and assume and say you guys are I think number 12.
Oh, easily.
Easily. I think number 12.
If we want to look at everyone that has become a couple because of Legends, right? We have our head coach in Lehi who's dating someone and they sort of met with.
You're talking about Kylan?
I'm talking about the Kylan.
Yeah, you're talking about the Kylan Withers.
Yes.
And Brooke.
And the Brooke Huntsman.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep. Who are engaged now. Congratulations to them. We have St. John and Berkeley, also married. Alex and oh my goodness, Blakely, right? They're now engaged.
Mm-hmm.
It's easily, Legends is not only a boxing gym, but it could possibly be where you meet your future spouse.
It's totally possible. It's totally possible.
I don't want it to be that. That's why I made the rule.
But my wife and I met. We're the very first. We're the first couple that got together because of Legends Boxing. So, yeah, it's, what I think it is going back to our core values. It really just goes back to those three words, our belong, our real, and our results, right? Because you are a part of something, because it's a community of people that are all really becoming a family per se, right? Like there's so many relationships, just friendships that have been developed just because of the years of Legends and what we do, and the acceptance and the welcoming that we do as just people who are a part of Legends.
Yeah.
That's what makes us different. I really truly believe that's where the tagline "more than a workout" came from, because you can get a workout anywhere. You can go anywhere and get a workout, but you can't go anywhere and have your life changed to going, wow, I'm a hockey player. No, I'm a boxer. And now I'm a head coach, and now I'm running gyms, and I've been in multiple places, and now I'm married to the love of my life that we met in a boxing gym. Coach Jeremy Tella, who's currently a member coach in Orem, met his wife inside the doors of Orem.
I remember those two. They were not dating when I remembered them.
And now they're married.
Yeah,
see, so I mean, it is, if you allow it, if you go in and you start off with it being a boxing gym, and then you allow it to turn into something more than just a boxing gym and more than just a workout, then it absolutely can change lives.
Yeah.
And it has, and it's changed yours.
It's changed mine for the better, for such, it's changed it completely. And not only in my relationship, but like you said, it just has been able to take something so raw where I just give myself to the gym and allow myself to be as real as possible, which obviously goes back to that second core value, and show my true self, which then allows and attracts others, and their real self attracts others. And it really does become this family, and you don't think it's okay. It's just a Orem Rec Center where I go and, do some chest press and do some pull-ups. And no, the Legends becomes this place where you want to hang out and to really engage with other people. You have fight nights where you go watch, the next fight, at least big one that I'm thinking of, is like Spencer and Crawford. The end of July, I'm like, where am I going to be? Well, I know where I'm going to be. I'm going to be hanging out with Legends fam, because that's where we're all going to be. We're just going to watch it and enjoy the time together and eat burgers and chips and watch the fight. So it really does. It gives you a community. I think that's a great word. Legends is not only a gym, it's a community.
Absolutely. No, well said. Very well said. Now that you're talking about fighting, we'll kind of end here with the fighting. Is there any of that in your future? October 6th, I'm just throwing that out there. There is a Legends fight night coming October 6th.
No. The reason why is too many concussions from hockey growing up and through the college years and everything else. And there's too big of a risk for me. So for me, there's no way I would probably step into a ring. Even if I did never get hit, which that's not part of boxing, you always got to get hit. So it's better for me to preserve the brain for school, for family, and for life. So
didn't you spar?
I did spar until I don't spar anymore. So I did spar for a while and actually got I don't even know what number concussion it was, but I actually found out that I got one sparring a little while ago. So however many years ago when I was up in Sandy. So from that point I said, it's probably not the best for me. Sparring does not always, I should put a disclaimer in there. Sparring does not make you have concussions. It's not some scary thing. It's a lot of fun. It helps you mentally. It helps you physically. There's so many great aspects of sparring. But for me, with my past, it's probably just not the best choice.
No, totally understandable. You got to take care of numero uno.
Yeah.
Number one. So yeah, no, dude, it's been a journey. It's for sure been a journy. It's been a ride.
Loved every moment.
Yeah. I mean, and you're still a part of it. And like it's been said on our past episodes before, once you're a part of the Legends family, you're always a part of the Legends family. And, so it's still amazing to have you here, have you member coaching, have you being a part of it. Having you be another addition to the Legends relationships. So here's many more years of Legends and many more years of happiness, man. I appreciate you being here.
Thank you. Thanks for letting me on.
Yeah.